Hey Scorpio, thank you for stopping by for your February reading. I'm Madeleine, if we haven't met before, and if you're back, hi. Okay, so Spirit has a channeled message for you before we get into your cards, which came through as a song. The song is by Tinashe, and the song is Salt. So, interesting song, very scorpionic. As soon as it started to play in my head, I was like, oh my god, yeah, like this is incredibly scorpionic. I'll let you listen to the song if you haven't heard it before. But it's about someone who has a strong attraction to somebody that is maybe playing with their feelings a little bit, maybe pouring a little salt in the wound of this person by not like making things clear. So I feel like you have some choices to make, perhaps based on that this month, Scorpio. But let's see. Let's get into your cards and see how they play with Tinashe. Oh, woo! Okay, let's get into it. Let's see. Very scorpionic reading right off the bat. Nice. Okay. Whoa, yeah. Some of y'all have straight up, like, maybe even you've broken up with somebody, or you're at least like, wow. Ooh, okay. So I do feel some of you guys have either recently become single or you are strongly considering it. Whether you are literally single, as in not in a romantic relationship or not, you are definitely standing very strong as an individual. Very skilled, very independent, and very self-aware, Scorpio. That's what Spirit is saying, so they're giving you some congratulations on that self-awareness. And I feel that that's increasing in February. You have some great freaking cards here. Like, you have the Nine of Pentacles in the crowning position, and then you have the Nine of Cups in the position of where you find yourself. So even if some of you have broken up with someone or you're considering it, it's not putting you in a bad place, it's putting you in a really good place. So, general readings, of course, Scorpio. If you're not breaking up with anybody, if you're single or if everything is going great, then don't worry about any of this. But if it's ringing any little bells for you, trust your intuition and follow the through line of your life in this reading, okay? The Devil is at the center of your reading, crossed by the Four of Swords. I don't always get this, but Spirit is telling me that some of you either have strong Capricorn placements yourself or you're dealing with a person who has strong Capricorn placements, either Sun, Moon, Rising. And you are done with, like, self-sabotaging yourself. I can talk. Self-sabotaging and obsessing and any kind of like stalemate feeling, y'all are done. Like, anybody who's been feeling in any kind of like hanged man, you can see them there in your key and concluding position. If you're feeling hung up on someone, Scorpio, if they're unhealthy for you, if they have anything to do with this Devil card, which don't be afraid, not that I would expect a Scorpio to be afraid, actually. You're the person I'd be least afraid to like show the Devil card to. That's going to work in your favor. The Devil is not Satan or affiliated with like evil in the tarot. Tarot is pre-Christian. The Devil in tarot is more associated with Pan, the little goat god guy that had the goat legs and the human like torso, who basically just like gave into temptation and chased nymphs all the time and did all sorts of mischievous things because he's a slave to his desires. And that's how Spirit is putting it, is they don't want you to be a slave to your desires this month, whether that be an obsession with a person and addiction to a substance or a thing, which like that could range from, yes, like a substance like smoking or drinking or whatevering too much. That could also just be I'm sitting around watching too much TV, or I'm eating like the worst junk food in the world and I'm starting to feel like I'm a slave to my desires because I'm doing it even though it makes me unhappy. if you're, whatever it may be for you, Scorpio, that you're doing, even though it makes you unhappy, I feel that you actually have a fantastic opportunity to heal from that this month. Some of you, because again, general readings, this is in your past. Some of you have either already come to this conclusion or you're already in the midst of your healing. And some of you are just starting to become aware that like, oof, this isn't going to work for me. Like, not if I want to feel strong, not if I want to feel wealthy, not if I want to feel independent and baggage free and like I get to really be myself. Okay? If anything or anyone is keeping you from really being yourself, there's a chance to sort out your thoughts, to take like a bit of a time out, is what I'm hearing. So some of you might be doing a sober month. Some of you might be thinking relationships in your life. And I want to remind you that when I say relationships, that doesn't just mean romantic. Some of you might have a really unhealthy relationship with your mother or your father. And it's like, ugh, like why am I like doing what I need to do for this person's approval when it makes me feel sick or annoyed or low? Anything that makes you feel low, that's that devil stuff. Because everything in moderation, right? Like great sex, great food, great booze, great whatever, like in moderation, awesome. As soon as it starts to become like a need, wait. Like, what do I really need from this person, this situation, this substance, whatever? And am I getting it? Or am I just kind of unconsciously continuing to do something that I'm becoming more and more aware, more conscious that this isn't it. This ain't it, Chief. Like, I don't feel good. Like, I don't like it. Great progress is possible this month when you put an end to anything that makes you feel that way. The Three of Wands is anchoring your reading. The Nine of Pentacles is crowning it. So, I mean, success. Nine of Pentacles is the successful self-employed person. It's the person who is like, I'm in control of my finances, my home. I'm keeping everything together. I'm keeping everything growing and thriving. Some of you guys are just really straight up recognizing addictions and dismissing them, or at the very least laying the groundwork to let them go. And you should be really proud of yourself. You have 3 nines in this reading. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and the Hermit, which is number 9. So your individuality, your independence, your perspective, that's what Spirit is also saying, are highlighted. The Hermit is not like about literally going into hermit mode and excluding other people and not socializing, but it is about not taking your cues from other people. Like, I know who I am, I know what I want, and self-driven, self-piloted, right? Now, I want to make another quick note that the devil, when it's connected in a reading to the 9 of Cups, that's that overindulgence thing. So, anything that becomes obsessive or a need, whether that's a person or a substance or a situation or whatever, I just feel that there are opportunities coming. I'm feeling to like separate yourself from that, and that doesn't have to mean that you break up or you literally leave, although for some of you, yes, I'm just feeling it. I'm just feeling it. Like, this Death card is in the potential position. Greatest hopes and fears. Some of you long to be set free, and I want to point out the similarity, but also the subtle differences in these images. You know, the devil has these people tied up and dancing for his pleasure. He plays and they dance, right? He plays the tune and they dance. Whatever tune he plays, they dance along. Whereas Death, these people are actually, they seem very grateful. And they're sort of kneeling in supplication. One is even offering a flower like a thank you. So a death, in your case, can be liberating. Let's also remind you that the Death card is your card. It's the Scorpio card. Death is not usually at all representative of physical death, but it is the little deaths in life. Haha, le petit mort. Very, very scorpionic. It is the little deaths in life. like the end of a growth cycle, like the end of a marriage, like the end of a job, those big, big endings that are also contained within themselves the new beginnings. So if you decide to get sober this month, or if you decide to separate yourself from a toxic friendship or whatever, and let go of some of the baggage and just see what that feels like, see what it feels like to, Spirit is saying, get the monkey off your back, I feel like you're going to gain new perspective. Both of these cards, you have a lot of major arcana here, by the way, if you hadn't noticed, like a lot. What these guys have in common is their perspective, their unique, independent perspective. The Hermit climbs to those snowy peaks that most people would rather avoid or admire from below. So you're willing to go there when other people aren't, Scorpio, and that is serving you. Okay, here's what Spirit is saying. They're having me appeal to your desire for power and control, scorpionic things. If you're feeling tied up to anything, this perspective that you gain by looking at yourself and what you're getting or not getting from the devil, whoever or whatever that is in your life, and look, like, very just honestly, like, it's a ton of fucking fun, like, or whatever. Like, we're not just trying to say, this is bad, let's get rid of it, let's heal from that, like, let's just, no. It's giving you something. 9 of Cups. Like, it's giving you something to have this substance or this thing or this whatever in your life. And acknowledging the good things it's giving you is just as vital as acknowledging the bad things that it's not giving you or that it is. Because only when we're truly conscious of something does it stop being the devil. Because the devil is just what we shove into the darkness. The socially unacceptable, it's not acceptable for me to be needy or jealous or greedy or obsessed or addicted or any number of things. And listen, it's also different for each individual person, because you may have had the parents that were like, zip your fucking mouth, I don't care what you feel about this, get in line, we're doing this. And maybe now it's like verboten for you to fucking feel your feelings. Think about the things that you're not allowed to be, Scorpio. Whether you don't allow yourself to be them or whether somebody else didn't and now you're just like keeping up that process. Who or what are you not allowed to express of yourself that you know that if you could be that, it would be healing and it would be more authentic, which is also what your sign ultimately represents, real authenticity. Because it's not skating over, and I love Librans, I'm a Libra sun myself, but this is how Spirit is putting it. It's not like skating over the surface the way that a Libra can sometimes do, like, oh yeah, I see that down there, like, that's interesting, but I'm going to stay right here. You're willing to go there. You may, this is what they're saying, okay? The Hanged Man is represented in this deck as Prometheus, who, you know, discovered fire and for his trouble was like chained to a rock to have his eyes pecked out forever, or his guts, I can't remember, maybe both, pecked out for the rest of his life. Yeah, it's his guts. So he was, you know, audacious enough to gain this new perspective and share it with everybody. The other person, he made a great sacrifice to do that though, right? The other god that this is associated with is Odin in Norse mythology, who hung himself upside down from the world tree to gain new perspective. And he sacrificed one of his eyes for sight with a capital S, true sight, psychic sight, all father, all seeing, right? But he had to give up his sort of worm's eye view in order to see things for what they really are. So in a way, you have to give up the human aspect of yourself for a few minutes at a time, however long you can, whether that's in meditation, prayer, whatever, and see things from way, way up. And be like, this hasn't been working. Like, when I'm in my emotions, I can see why I want this, but when I zoom all the way up here into a 4 of Swords place of, again, like meditation, like I'm tuning into my higher mind, the part of me that isn't addicted to this thing and actually just sees what the true, like, results are. When I tune into that part of me, somehow it becomes easier to sacrifice this thing I'm addicted to in exchange for just so much more, a broader perspective, a freer spirit. I feel some of you want to move, like literally, and you may be giving up some toxic relationships or connections in order to make that move. Whether you're literally geographically moving or not, I feel like you're moving up, moving on. So could be new job. Yeah, I really feel that. It's like trips or geographical moves, or at least like a new job, because something, wishes can come true this month. Set yourself free. Remember your own strength. That's what Spirit is saying, because again, your independence and your true perspective and authenticity are what are really being highlighted here, these nines. Take your journey. Focus on yourself. Focus on what are your desires and what things in your life are helping you get to them and which are kind of holding you back. Because it's all available right now. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. You've done the work. You've come very far. Now you have to make this last sacrifice of maybe a habit or a relationship or a situation that is keeping you low, keeping you in maybe just a smaller or negative thought spiral. Time to look at that wound, heal, and let go of something in order to embrace something that is much better, and that is you in your wholeness, not you with any part of yourself unplugged or put away for the comfort of other people. Okay? Okay. That was intense, Scorpio. What are you going through? Questions, comments, stories? I have some Plutonic and Scorpio placements myself, so I'm very curious how this is going to play out. I think we're going to be all right. I love you, Scorpio. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, shares, likes, all that stuff really makes a difference, and I really appreciate it. And if I don't see you in a reading before then I hope I see you in March. Bye, Scorpio.